Welcome to A to Z lesson planning using Google Docs and your Google Drive. I'm Roberta Travers, a student at the Instructional Technologies and Digital Media Literacies program here at the University of New Haven, and I just would like to introduce you to a few simple steps, an introduction to completing a lesson plan folder. If you will notice that we are in the Google Drive of my Google Plus account. And in the Drive, I've arranged several folders. The one we're going to work with today is this folder, The Treasures of Lemon Brown. And just to give you a quick example, in the A to Z, if you go to Create, you will see Create a Folder, which is what I did. I created a folder. I named the folder, we'll name this Practice. Very similar to creating folders I'm sure that you've already done. The nice add to this is that you can create a color coding for classes or subjects, etc. In this particular folder, we'll just give it a nice bright color. And I'm going to go back to the Treasures of Lemon Brown. Inside our folder, you'll see a few different things in here. First off being our lesson plan. The lesson plan was set up using Google Docs. Google Docs, very intuitive. File, new, documentation, presentation, spreadsheet if you will. This is a document folder similar to other word processing folders. One key element that I really enjoy is, if you'll see, I have hyperlinks embedded in this document which will take me to various websites. As you can see, this would actually take us onto our storyboard link, or another link that I have, which is a Weebly link, a PDF file of The Treasures of Lemon Brown, which is great, and finally the storyboard that I use. Also here is a YouTube. So within the context of my lesson plan document, I have all of my websites for easy mobility. And from here, I'm going to go back to our folder, and you'll see that in our folder, I also have this slide presentation. Slides is basically Google's PowerPoint, Google Doc, PowerPoint, very similar operation. Add your slides, if you will, create your slides, add, file, make a copy, import a slide. Nice thing about Google Docs is if you are pulling from another format, it will bring it up into your drive and create a conversion. You have options to insert, arrange, format, add slides, new slide, duplicate your slide, and move your slides up and down. So we begin with our lesson plan, move on to a slide presentation. Upon doing that, my favorite element in Google Docs is forms. I've also utilized the spreadsheet to help students create an outline a template, if you will, for their storyboarding ideas. And I can share this out collaboratively with my students, and they can incorporate audio links, image links, gather all their data here in the template before going on to the storyboard that. And as I said, my favorite is forms. Here, again, I'm just going to take you to forms. You'll see it quickly comes up with an untitled form. So again, we'll choose practice. And once you've titled it, you then can choose any number of template designs. And I chose for lemon brown, the magazine template. And so you can see here in practice, we have the option in the untitled question. What I like to do here, and what I've done in my template, is student name. And this is a text option for students, so they can type in their name. It is a required section, and I'm done. You'll notice some other confirmation elements here, and the one that is checked is to show link to submit another response. That allows students a second response. You can publish and show a link to results from this form to all respondents, so everyone would get a response to the survey, maybe nice option for surveying in a class, and allow respondents to edit responses after submitting, which gives students a window, if you will, that you can go back and change, so that if they submit and then decide, I'd like to change my thoughts, they can. So these are manipulative options for you. Next, you can add. The next thing that I'm going to add is my class section, and I'm going to create a checkbox, and checkbox is period 5A, and that's for my period 5 section A students, or period 5 section B students. Okay, and if for some reason you might be working collaboratively, you can also choose another, and their answer would come in that section. And now we move on to add another item, if you will, and that can begin your questions. Essay responses can be text, paragraph, if you will, and that gives the student a longer piece of time. And we're done with that. And as you can see, you can move your questions around from top to bottom. With this, I'm going to go back and actually edit In the essay response, my help is prompt. My prompt is explain the importance of treasures in the story. And we're done. It's a required question. Students cannot submit. And ta-da! One of the things that I choose to do is take a live view of my form so that I can see exactly what's happening. And for today, we're going to look at what happens when the practice student says treasures are important in the story because, and I'm in section 5B, and I'm going to submit. Now that my responses have been submitted, I can go back and you will see response, in our practice, we're going to review our responses, and what Docs does is create for you a time-stamped response from the student in the section, and their essay response is there for you to read. Wonderful thing about this is now this practice response is available to us in our drive. Practice responses, and I'm going to move this. Yeah, there it is. So again, we're going to move this, intuitively check the folder, move Treasures of Lemon Brown, and going back to my drive. In my Treasures of Lemon Brown folder, I now have everything I need for my lesson, including my grade sheets as students respond to my response, to my essays, or tests, or quizzes, or what have you. So there we are, A to Z lesson planning using Google Docs.